I'm Philippe Sands. I'm Professor of Law at University College London and a barrister at Matrix Chambers and a writer. Welcome to my exp. What the Nuremberg moment did was determine, for the first time in human history, that the rights of a state, the right of a sovereign, of a king, of an emperor, of a president, of a Führer, was not unlimited in respect of the power it exercised over its people. That individuals and groups had rights, and these rights were encapsulated in two new inventions from the summer of 1945. One was the concept of crimes against humanity, the protection of individuals, coined by a professor of international law at Cambridge University called Hirsch Lauterpacht, who'd actually been born in a city called Lemberg or Lviv. The other was the crime of genocide, invented by another Polish lawyer, Raphael Lemkin. And this was not about individuals, but about the protection of groups. And in this Nuremberg moment, in 1945, the idea that we all have rights as individuals and as member of a group or groups came of age, and it has prospered ever since. What followed after Nuremberg was the creation of new international treaties preventing genocide, for example, and the coining of the idea of human rights, that each of us has basic rights under international law. And that was accompanied by new institutions, new international organisations, and for the first time, international courts and tribunals, the International Court of Justice, the European Court of Human Rights, the Court of Justice of the European Union, and various other bodies which were intended to ensure that the rights of individuals and groups were fully protected. It took time, and it really wasn't until the 1990s, in the context of the terrible events in Rwanda and Yugoslavia, that two new international criminal tribunals were created. And then, in 1998, an international criminal court was established. For the first time, a permanent body which had jurisdiction not only over war crimes and the crime of aggression, but also crimes against humanity and genocide. And this represents, if you like, the coming of age of the idea of human rights, of international criminal law, and the role of international courts and tribunals in our daily lives. The Yugoslav and Rwanda tribunals indicted and prosecuted and convicted a great number of individuals. Did they succeed? The jury, I think, is still out. What they allowed was a story to be told in both parts of the world about what had happened. Will they prevent further atrocities in those areas or in other parts of the world? We will have to wait and see. Did they punish all the perpetrators? No, they did not. Did they set a standard? Yes, they did. And from this standard, I think there will be further developments going forward over time. But Yugoslavia and Rwanda were crucial moments. After 50 years of quiescence, Nuremberg took off again. And all roads in international criminal justice today lead back to that Nuremberg moment of 1945. Until 1945, states, leaders, heads of state, were basically free to treat their citizens, their people, as they wished. The idea that they were subject to limits was entirely new and revolutionary in 1945. And you cannot expect a set of principles that have applied for millennia to suddenly be changed and expect them to take effect. So we are in the very early stages, still, of a change that will take, I think, many decades, if not centuries, to bear full fruition. There is resistance against the idea of international criminal justice in some quarters, and that is why some perpetrators of the most serious international crimes, often, for example, President Assad of Syria is mentioned. Some governments have not wanted him to be subjected to criminal investigation or prosecution, and they have blocked efforts to create a new international tribunal to refer his case to the International Criminal Court. So it's a long game, and we're still in the early days in constructing this international justice project.